Welcome back to Chatter on the Wire. Let's see what trouble I got myself into this week. So a new toy came in the mail. It took 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I don't know. A lot longer than it should have, because it sat in Paris for over a week. I'll try to superimpose that lovely shipping here. But it is finally here. So what was my new toy, you may ask? It's the new DFC burner from Devil Forge. While I'm happy with the forge I have, or the furnace technically I guess, I did want a new burner to utilize in my old charcoal burning furnace, my original one that I made, and there was air and everything else. I really love that thing and I want to reuse it and need something for a lot of these bigger melts I'm doing, so decided to pick up one of these. We shall see how it works. So one thing I'm going to have to do here is drill a bigger hole. This is about 2 inch. And I know the old one was 1 1/4. I figured I better actually verify the size of that hole instead of just assuming that it was 1 1/4. But I have the old piece there, so it's going to be interesting trying to figure out how to enlarge that to a 2 inch hole, but we'll get it figured out. The harder part is going to be the concrete-like stuff. So there's just enough thread on here that I can put the old bit, cutter, whatever it is, on there to hopefully give me just enough on that hole there. We shall see. The hard part's getting this angle right, but this looks like it should work. Definitely a little rough on that cut, but this is only going to be used for a few different projects, so while not ideal, and maybe I'll fix it down the road, it will work for now. So now the plan is to put a hole in the bottom of it, and this is going to be just kind of a melt, have it dump out on the bottom and remelt later. So all I can say is if you ever plan on doing this, design it this way up front. Don't have to go through 3 inches of concrete crap that you've built up. So I think I made the base of this a little too thick. Had to break this out because I was bottoming out on the bit. And as you can see, I'm not all the way through yet. Hey, I made it. Much thicker than the base needed to be though, for sure. Okay, so what's the goal here really? I've got big chunks like that take me hours and hours to cut up to fit into a 3 inch hole. Now instead, the goal at least is to cut them at what, 12 inches? So I can just feed them into the top of this and let all the molten aluminum go out right at the bottom. So of course this means I'm going to have this raised, a few other things, and we'll test this out here hopefully in the next week or two. So actually having to have a wrench to put that in is going to be a little interesting and take some getting used to. I'm so used to the quick connect on our barbecues here, but it is what it is at this point in time. Not the world's best setup here, but good enough for testing for the time being. So even just on a very low one there, no extra oxygen, where are we at? 0.05, a little less than that. That's just with it barely open. This is going to be fun. So the goal here is to basically melt these huge pieces I have, because I got tired of trying to cut them down, as you can kind of see on that one there. Let them melt out, either drop into a pan like that, or like this one here that'll be full of water. And I got a whole stack here. By no means the nicest day out here. Still might rain on us, but I think it's about 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see if we can get this. 51. We're less than 5 minutes in and you can already hear it dripping down in there. Well, definitely not perfect. As you can see, it's kind of pooling on the side here, but not too bad. So if you're not careful, it kind of piles up there and ends up with a big huge chunk that may or may not fit in my crucible later. But as long as I continue to move the water around a bit, this seems to work pretty well. So while I could fill this up farther, it makes it a little more difficult to do clean out. Notice that one big huge piece. It should just fit in my crucible pretty good, but who knows, might have to melt that down again. So in half an hour, give or take, it will been able to melt down about this much. The last of that 5-gallon bucket's in there right now. But that stuff over there is why I really started this, because I'm just tired of spending so much time cutting things down into 3-inch segments to fit through the top hole. And here's why I have this. Okay, that pile over there is the roofing material, same stuff that's on the back there. All the stuff over here is kind of the higher end motor parts. There are some crap extruded aluminum in there, but for what I'm doing I don't really care. And I still have one big piece there, but I got rid of 3 or 4 that were over there. And it was a big old dam in there, and the bread loaf here was almost full when I swapped it out there. So you can see it over there. Definitely not clean aluminum at this point in time, but at least melted down to something I can use. Well iced up. I will have to do water bath for it down the road. This pole's at a pretty good PSI evidently, but very happy with this. Wish I would have bought one of these long ago. Okay, the last of the lawnmower parts, or most of the last of the lawnmower parts. 12.3 pounds. Or 5.6 kilograms. And the fairly clean, but not completely clean, roofing material, like that, is 7.8 pounds, or 3.5 kilograms. I do have another stack of it right there, but that's not very clean stuff, and I still got a ton in the bottom of the furnace there. We'll see what happens with that. 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets there, and then 3 full-size sheets here. They're about 8 by 4. So get these cut down, get those melted up, and be done with this. Give away this garbage and tear down this old shed. Well, that's it for this installment. Please think about hitting the like button, subscribing if you aren't already, and clicking on one of the other videos. See you in the next one.